I never thought I'd be standing in the dusty graveyard of Cheyenne, Wyoming, watching them lower my wife, Eleanor, into the ground, only to have my world upended by the man who'd married my daughter. I'm Jack Harlan, 72 years old, a retired Army vet who's seen more than his share of battles, both overseas and right here in the American West. Eleanor and I had been hitched for 40 years, building our life on a sprawling ranch just outside town. It wasn't much by city standards, 200 acres of rolling plains, a modest house we'd fixed up ourselves, and a herd of cattle that kept us tied to the land. But it was home, worth about $750,000 now with the way property values had skyrocketed in these parts. The funeral was on a crisp Tuesday in October, the wind whipping through the sagebrush like it was mourning with us. By Thursday, my son-in-law, Cody Walker, cornered me in the kitchen while I was nursing a black coffee, staring out at the corral where Eleanor used to ride her favorite mare. Cody was a big-shot contractor in town, running Walker builds with a crew of 10, specializing in custom homes for the influx of folks moving out from Denver. He leaned against the counter, arms crossed, looking like he owned the place already. "Listen, Jack," he said, his voice low, but edged with that salesman slickness. "This ranch is prime real estate. You're rattling around here alone, like a ghost in your own life. Eleanor's gone, and it's time to face facts. Pack up. Find a decent assisted living spot in town. I'm selling this spread, whether you're on board or not." I looked up at him. This 45-year-old who'd never served a day, never known what it was like to haul your buddies out of a firefight. He saw me as just an old-timer on VA disability, $3, $500 a month for the shrapnel still lodged in my back from Afghanistan. My beat-up '02 Chevy Silverado sat out front. Wyoming vet plates faded from the sun. Registration lapsed because grief had a way of making the small stuff slip. Cody thought he was dealing with a pushover, someone who'd shuffle off quietly. He didn't know I'd saved 52 soldiers in a hellish ambush back in 14, or that 15 of those men now helmed multi-million-dollar outfits in defense and construction across the West. "Cody," I replied, keeping my tone even, "I'll be out by week's end." But inside, something shifted. This wasn't just about land. It was about erasing the life Eleanor and I had built. Cody owned Walker Builds, an outfit that looked solid on paper, flipping ranches and building subdivisions as Wyoming's population boomed. What I didn't know then was he'd botched a major deal, a $250,000 remodel for a Tech XX vacation home, exposed for cutting corners with cheap lumber that didn't meet code. Fines were piling up from the county inspector, and he needed cash quick. To him, I was the obstacle, a widower in thrift store flannel and boots, collecting my pension like clockwork. My daughter, Sarah, 43, and a nurse at the local hospital, hovered in the doorway, her eyes puffy from another night shift and fresh tears. She'd aged 10 years since her mom's cancer diagnosis. "Dad, maybe Cody's right. A change could help. You've been driving that truck for hours, talking to the wind. Mom wouldn't want you stuck here in the memories." Cody had been feeding her that line for weeks, painting me as depressed, a burden. But those drives, twice a week, I'd head out at dawn, manila folders on the passenger seat, phone buzzing with calls I kept hushed. Cody assumed therapy or errands. Truth was, that old Chevy was my cover. People see a grizzled vet in a rusty truck and figure he's washed up. Those folders? Board agendas for companies I'd advised. The calls? CEOs I'd pulled from the jaws of death, now running empires. That afternoon, with Cody back at his site scrambling to save his skin, I made my first move. I dialed up an old comrade, now a bigwig in Denver. Harlan here. We need to chat. The response was immediate. Jack. Name it. I glanced at Cody's shiny Ford F-350 in the drive. Time to pull some strings. What Cody was really after hit me like a dust storm. This ranch wasn't just dirt, it was our legacy. Eleanor and I bought it in '85 after my first tour, her belly swelling with Sarah. We painted the nursery sage green, planted cottonwoods that now shaded the porch. The kitchen held echoes of Eleanor's laughter teaching Sarah to bake peach cobbler. The bedroom where she slipped away, hospice nurses shaking their heads. To Cody, it was equity. To me, it was everything. Worse, I found assisted living pamphlets in Sarah's bag, cheap spots in Laramie. $900 a month for a shoebox. Cody's plan, sell for $750,000. Clear their $180,000 mortgage. Pocket the rest to bail out his firm. Sarah didn't know about his troubles yet. She thought it was for my well-being. But legally, Cody had zilch. Eleanor and I held it as joint tenants. Wyoming law meant it passed to me outright.
No probat. No liens.
He couldn't touch it without my say-so. My routine, which Cody called withdrawing, was actually me staying sharp. Those drives led to meetings in Cheyenne cafes, advising on contracts. The market here had boomed, oil money, remote workers snapping up land. Cody's firm rode that wave until his screw-up. He needed the sale by November or his payroll would bounce. The real gut punch. Cody's open laptop showed searches on Wyoming elder law, guardianship for incompetent seniors. He was gearing up to petition the court, claiming my grief made me unfit. That's when I knew this was war on my dignity. But Cody missed the mark. He should have researched what happens when you cross a Silver Star recipient. I downplayed it. No need for fanfare, who'd saved lives and built a network. Those 52 soldiers? They'd climbed high. And they remembered. Wednesday dawned with the kind of clear Wyoming sky that makes you think life's straightforward. But Cody shattered that illusion quick. He strode into the kitchen in his pressed shirt, a thick folder under his arm like he was closing a deal. I was at the table, scanning the Cheyenne Tribune, front page touting new defense bids out of Warren Air Force Base. Irony hit hard. Cody didn't notice. Jack. Time for a real talk, he said, sliding the folder across. Sarah trailed in, scrubs rumpled, coffee in hand. What's this? She asked. Cody flipped it open. Your dad's showing signs for getting bills. Long drives to nowhere. Wyoming law lets family petition for guardianship if mental decline's evident. He pulled printouts, senior homes specializing in grief. A competency eval simple. I handle the ranch sale. You get care. Sarah's voice cracked. Cody, we discussed the sale. Not this. It's for his safety, Cody insisted. Eyes on me. Everyone wins. Family secured. I set my mug down. What exactly you proposing? Cody. Temporary guardianship. Sell the ranch. Get you settled. His tone dripped false concern. I let silence stretch. Then, Cody, ever seen a Silver Star citation? He blinked. What's that got to do with? Answer me.
No.
I rose, unlocked the old oak cabinet Eleanor had refinished, pulled out the framed document, dust-free despite the months. July 15th, 2014. Near Kandahar. Staff Sergeant J. Harlan. Under heavy fire. Evacuated 52 wounded in a 6-hour siege. I read it steady. Sarah's hand flew to her mouth. Dad. For gallantry beyond duty, I finished, placing it on the table. Cody stared like it'd bite. Now. Cody. Think a man who did that can't handle his own land,
His jaw tightened.
That was ages ago. Doesn't mean no issues now. Wrong play. 10 years. Enough for those men to build lives. I scroll my phone. Take Mike Thornton, lost an arm that day. Now CEO of Thornton Defense in Boise. $1.5 billion revenue. Or Lisa Ramirez, shrapnel scars. Chairs Ramirez Construction in Salt Lake. Snagging Air Force deals. Sarah whispered. You never shared details. Eleanor knew. Kept it low-key. To Cody. Those drives? Board meetings. Folders? Strategies. Calls? Guidance on bids. The room went still. Cody's folder looked flimsy now. But here's the rub. Cody, you researched stripping my rights. Did you check what happens pushing a decorated vet?
His color drained.
I wasn't bluffing. That afternoon, with Cody out wheeling deals, I activated the network. First call, Lisa in Salt Lake. Jack. Anything. Run a check on Walker builds, Cody Walker.
Done.
Second, Mike in Boise. Intel on his contracts near Warren AFB. On it. Third, retired Colonel Dan Ellis. Now a DoD consultant.
Done?
Vet preferences on base work. Big push, 70% to veteran firms.
Why?
Personal. I'd seen Cody's desperation brewing, his truck idle. Hushed calls. Intercepted mail from creditors. Military intel training spots patterns. By evening, reports flooded in. Lisa. Walker's deep in red, $55K owed. Credit tanked. Payroll Friday. Account dry. Mike. Blacklisted by suppliers. No bonds for military gigs, can't bid. Dan. $15 million in Wyoming AFB contracts upcoming. Vets only. Cody's puzzle snapped together. No cash. No work. Banking on my ranch to float him. Sarah found me on the porch that night. Stars blanketing the plains.
Dad.
Cody's pushing hard. Is there more? I nodded. His firm's sinking. This ain't about me, it's survival.
She sighed.
I thought he cared. Desperation twists spokes. Legally, Wyoming's guardianship laws require clear evidence of incapacity, doctor evals. Court hearings. Cody's play was shaky, no judged by it without proof. But he'd crossed into personal territory. Thursday, Sarah confronted him. Why the guardianship push? For Jack's good, he lied. She pressed. Or your business? Cody crumbled a bit. We're tight.
Yeah.
But this helps everyone. Sarah's trust cracked.
Me?
I pondered mercy. Revenge felt hollow without Eleanor. Friday hit like a Wyoming thunderstorm, unpredictable and fierce. Cody's desperation peaked. He called a family sit-down. But Sarah and I were ready. He'd spent the night poring over more docs. Eyes bloodshot when he arrived. Jack. Sarah, let's cut the BS. The ranch sells, or we go legal. He waved papers, petition drafts for guardianship, citing my erratic behavior. Sarah gasped. You dragged Dad to court? For his sake, Cody insisted. He's not right since Eleanor. I leaned back. Cody. Ever wonder why I drive those back roads? He shrugged. Grief stuff.
Wrong.
Consulting gigs. Those 52 I saved?
They're my boardroom now.
I listed more. Greg Hayes, CEO of Hayes Logistics in Montana, $800M in DoD halls. Pam Ortiz. Ortiz builds in Idaho. Vet preferred for base Renos. Cody's bravado faltered. So what? Doesn't change your state. Sarah interjected. Dad's competent. This is about your debts. Cody paled. How? Network, I said. Your firm's toast without cash. But Wyoming law's clear. Guardianship needs medical proof. Not hunches. You'd lose in court. He slumped.
I'm drownin'.
Lost that big remodel. Fines 8 profits. Needed the ranch equity. Sarah's voice hardened. By stealing from Dad? Not stealing, family asset. I shook my head. Joint tenancy passed it to me. No claim. Silence. Then Cody. Help me?
Jack.
Loan. Anything. I considered.
No.
But learn from this. That evening, word spread in vet circles. Calls poured in, offers to blackball Walker builds. I waved them off. No pylon. But ripples started. Suppliers cut ties. A small AFB subcontract vanished. Cody's phone blew up with cancellations. Sarah filed separation papers Monday. Wyoming's no-fault divorce clean but painful. Can't trust you, she told him. Cody moved to a motel. Business limping. I could have crushed him. Connections to DOD could have flagged his bids as risky. But Eleanor's voice echoed, grace over grudge. Instead, I called Greg Hayes. Small favor, toss Walker a bone. Warehouse Reno. $25,000. Why? After a stunt. Redemption. Keep it anonymous.
Done.
Cody got the gig. Unaware. It kept him afloat.
Payroll met.
Meanwhile, my consulting hummed. A new AFB initiative, $18 million for vet housing. My firm, Harlan Advisors, bid and one lead, vet preference sealed it. Sarah moved back temporarily.
Dad.
You're building for families like ours. Legacy, I said. One night, Cody showed at the gate.
Hat and hunt.
Jack.
Sorry.
Grief blinded me. Grief, I scoffed. Greed. He nodded. Both. That contract saved me. Know it was you? Doesn't matter. Proved change. He left. Thoughtful. Legally, I updated my will. Ranch to Sarah via trust. Untouchable by spouses. Consulting profits to vet funds. Wyoming estate laws made it ironclad, no contests. The drama shifted to healing. Sarah and I rode the plains, talking Eleanor. Lesson here, I said. Family's fragile, guard it. Months blurred into winter's bite. Snow blanketing the ranch like a fresh start. Cody's firm teetered but stabilized with that anonymous gig. He took counseling, anger management, financial planning, per Sarah's divorce terms. Wyoming courts mandated mediation. They hashed it out civilly.
No mudeslinking.
I focused on the AFB project, building affordable homes for vets near Cheyenne. My network pulled strings, subcontracts to locals, including a slot for Walker if he qualified. Vet adjacent, I told Greg. Give him a shot. Cody applied. Letter attached. I aired gravely. Disrespecting a hero. Committed to ethics now. Approved. He worked hard, on time. Quality materials. No corners cut, inspectors praised. Sarah dated again, a fellow nurse.
Ben. Ex-marine.
Understood loss. Service. He's kind. Dad. Like you. Good.
Deserve that.
One spring day, Cody finished his vet duplexes. He approached post-handover. Jack. Thanks. Learned humility. I nodded. Actions speak. Keep straight. He did. Rebuilt solo. Small jobs. Earned trust. But tension lingered. At a town hall on base housing, Cody spoke. Support vets, they built this. Eyes met mine, nod of respect. Sarah's divorce finalized.
Free, she said.
We celebrated with cobbler in Eleanor's kitchen. My health dipped. Old wounds flared. Doc said rest. But I pushed on. Life's short, I told Sarah. A Cheyenne Gazette piece spotlighted me. Quiet hero builds for tomorrow. Detailed saves. Consulting, humble tone.
No cody mention.
But locals knew. Vet community rallied, barbecues. Stories shared. You're why we fight, one said. Cody attended one.
Hatlo.
Mind, he asked. Welcome, I replied. Over firelight. He shared. Felt small next your service. Lashed out. Many do. Forgive yourself. That thawed ice. Sarah watched. Wary but open. Summer brought closure. I gifted Sarah ranch shares, co-owners now. Our home. She teared up. Mom's spirit here. Cody remarried quietly, a teacher. Kept distance, but sent Christmas cards. The lesson settled light. Betrayal stings, but forgiveness mends. In the West, wide open spaces remind. Room for second acts. 2 years on. The ranch thrived, new fences. Sarah's touch in the garden. She married Ben in a simple ceremony under the cottonwoods. Me walking her down in my old uniform. Eleanor's locket around my neck. Proud, I whispered. The AFB project wrapped. 50 vet homes. My firm's legacy. Profits seeded a fund, scholarships. Counseling for families. Cody's firm grew modestly, ethical bids.
Vet partners hips.
He volunteered at Legion events, mentoring young contractors. Paying forward, he told me at one. We weren't family, but neighbors in spirit. Thanks for the chance, he said. Everyone earns one, I replied. Sarah had a kid, a boy, named after me. Holding him, I felt Eleanor's presence. Teach him kindness, I said. The West's vastness taught resilience. Betrayal? A detour. Grace? The true path.
Now.
At 74. I drive those roads, less for business, more for peace. The truck's registered. Plates shining. Life cycles, loss. Conflict. Renewal. The light lesson in families, like battles. Victory's not destruction, it's building bridges from ruins. Hold grudges. Lose the view, offer hand, gain allies. And in Wyoming's endless plains, there's always horizon ahead.